Trying to balance your mic because I'm trying to remember where I normally have you at. It's always different jumping between your computer and when you're like on your AirPods or whatever you use when you're in the car. I have to like turn you way down because it's just, they're so sensitive. They pick everything up and you're blasting. But like here I have to like turn you back up.
Well, I could turn my gain up, I guess.
No, you're good. I'd rather control it on my end. It's better for the audience. Unless, like, I couldn't already hear you, then I'd yell at you to turn your gain up. Anyhow.
Well, I'm working on my background image.
Yeah. Welcome to Game Central Junction, everyone. As always, I'm your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer, who, as he just said, is currently working on his background image. We're eating pizza today. On the show. You have to suffer with it, watching me eat my pizza, because I don't care. Anyhow, we're going to talk about games, as we normally do. The show, I think the title of the show, which, where is it up there, kind of implies that, right? I don't know. I don't know if you can read. Maybe you somehow just stumbled your way onto this show. I'm not going to judge. But if you somehow stumbled your way onto the show, it's probably worth you stumbling somebody else here. So grab that link, share it with somebody else, get them in the chat. We love to interact. We'll have a good time. And if at any point you happen to really like the show, you can always give a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitorium live. Not necessary, but really helps us out. Have you figured out your background yet?
Yeah, I'm just trying to... I hate it that like so many sites and stuff have AVIF now for their images. I have to convert them.
It's either that or a WebP.
ChromaCam doesn't do AVIF. Yeah, WebP I think works with ChromaCam. I'm not sure.
I hate both of them.
Really?
Listen, either give me a PNG or a JPEG. That's all I want to work with. I don't want to work with anything else on a website.
I thought PNG. Yeah, PNG was good enough.
They're just so big compared to these newer files. That's the problem they have with it. It takes up so much space. And it's like, I don't care.
The PNG is a lot smaller than a JPEG.
I think that depends on the compression of the JPEG, but it can be. But WebPs can be even more compressed without losing quality.
I guess.
That's why they like them.
I guess.
I don't like WebPs, though. I don't like these AVIFs either. Get rid of them. Heck, you want something that's compressed? Figure out how to make a TIFF file work on your site. They're basically just zips. That's all they are. They're already zipped folders, just in image format. They're really small. That's how I swap things around with people, right? If I'm working on a project, it's like, yeah, I'll just save all the layers in a TIFF, send it to you. You can open it back up. Bang, boom, we got our project. It doesn't take up as much space as like a PSD or something.
Yeah. Well, AVIF, it's hard to find programs that will open it and convert it to something usable.
I'd skip that. I would like pull up the image itself, and then I would just use the snipping tool to grab the whole image and then save it as a PNG.
I could have done that.
I mean, I do that all the time. Especially like sometimes I realize I don't even need the whole image.
Can convert it.
You know, like I just want this particular part of the image anyway. Let me just snip it. Why am I bothering with all of this?
I have Cammy eating a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Just reading Fizz
Looks like he froze up.
Comment where he's like, what if you make a video game about a guy whose job is to hunt and torture domestic canines? You're probably PETA and everybody hates you. And that sounds like something they would do. They've made several like Flash games and stuff in the past. That have, like for Pokemon, where you actually had to make them dog fight. Or one of the ones I actually haven't recorded on my personal gaming channel. Maybe I'll mirror some of those old videos over here. I don't know. But there was a Super Tanuki Skin 2D where they made a Flash game that was basically Super Mario Brothers 3, but it was like a skinned Tanuki. And it was like, PETA, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? I know you're trying to make like a statement. They're a bunch of like many of these people, failed theater majors that have nothing better to do with their life, and they think they're more moral than everyone else, even though they're a lot less moral than everybody else when you get down to their core.
Yeah, I mean, what message were they trying to send when they put down thousands of dogs?
Yeah, I don't know.
How much they love dogs?
That they were being merciful. A dog.
Wasn't that PETA? Or?
Yeah, PETA actually. Their whole thing is that they euthanize. Like that's what they used to do. I mean, technically they still do. They're a euthanasia clinic.
Yeah, I can see how much they love animals. It's like how Planned Parenthood is all about preventing parenthood.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's talk about fun stuff and not PETA. Though, I mean, shooting on PETA is always fun. We just don't have anything in the news today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you which direction. You want to talk about market news, which is kind of like what we were already talking about before the show, or do you want to talk about upcoming product?
I don't care.
You don't care? Okay, then
Whatever,
maybe
the
we'll
first
just go
one.
back to the conversation we were already having before we came on. Which is,
Oh, yeah,
thanks
about
to,
money.
Were you saying something?
Go ahead.
Oh,
I
okay.
said it was the conversation about money, right?
Yeah, it was about money. Sorry, I just didn't catch what you were saying. Anyway, so market research by industry analysts. I think actually the name of the one involved in this one, where is it? I do like to credit people when it's available. But it's MIDIA, I think is the name of the research. Medea? I don't know how you would say it. And there's an analyst attached to it, but I can't find his name currently. Oh, here it is. Brandon Sutton, I think, is one of them. There's a few different analysts here. But after doing some research on it, they've come to the conclusion that basically no one wants a $100 GTA 6. There's been a lot of rumors going around that GTA 6 is going to be $100. A lot of people in the industry, specifically other AAA companies, really want it to be $100 because then it gives them an excuse to charge their games for $100. They're waiting for a big giant to break the barrier on that. But after doing research, they found that only just about 35% of US adults who were even interested in the game, that's an important part that the blurb for this article doesn't mention. You have to get further into the research notes to find out that you'd have to be interested in buying Grand Theft Auto at all to count for this. Only 35% of US adults would be willing to spend $100 for any GTA coming forward. 6, 7, 8, they're not even thinking of the future of like what inflation will be by then, what's the worth of money. They're just like, I don't want to spend $100 for a GTA.
Yeah, I do not want to spend $100 unless it's, I don't know. It'd have to be really special and like a collector's edition that comes with physical. Well, it'd have to be a physical
Not
game
just
to begin
the
with,
game.
but also like with a book and a really thick designer's book like that Metroid collector's edition, Metroid Dread one.
Yeah,
That might have been 100. I don't. Might have been 90, but and it would have to be. Yeah, it would have to be either Zelda or Metroid for me. Those are pretty.
yeah, but we're also
pretty
talking
much the
about
only
people
IPs
that
where I would potentially overpay.
are interested in GTA. So for some of these people, it would be if they were asking you about a Zelda or a Metroid, right? I mean, GTA is a very, very popular game franchise. And even with that, it was a very small sample size, right? It was only 2,000 consumers. But honestly, once you get over 1,000, it's pretty rational to say that that is a conclusive sample size for most things. Like you're going to get close to what reality is after that point.
Yeah, but are they talking about $100 for like a collector's edition? Or
No,
the game?
They're saying just the base game, right? So that would be like if they were trying to sell Metroid to you base game for 100.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that. Believe it or not, the next mainline Zelda game came out, and just the standard edition, especially like, digital version, was $100. I'd be like,
yeah, it's probably gonna be $20
in a long
less
time
than
that
that.
I've skipped.
It's probably going to be 80, realistically speaking, but
yeah, probably.
In that same research,
I'll sadly pay that.
They concluded that $70 right now seems to be the consumer sweet spot for GTA specifically.
Yeah.
So not even for most games. You'd have to be like something big like GTA for people to say $70 is fine. Obviously, a lot of the Nintendo stuff we've seen so far that's been getting away with it, those have been big games, right? Like Zelda is a very big game. Even Mario Kart, huge game, probably one of the biggest things that Nintendo has going for it right now. So, like, we haven't really seen a game that wasn't practically a industry mover for 70 yet, or something you'd expect to be. I mean, I guess you could say Final Fantasy VII didn't turn out to be an industry mover when they did the remake, but it has the name of 7 to it. So the expectation that it would be the industry mover, I think, seems like it would have justified a $70 price tag.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy Mario Kart or the Bonanza, the Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
Not specifically because of the price, but I mean, that doesn't help. I kind of wanted to get a Mario Kart game. I guess I could still get 8. But
Yeah.
I'm not buying that thing for $80. Forget it.
Yeah, so they even say right here that their research suggests that GTA 6 would generate more revenue at $70 at a $69.99 price point than any other price point. With some fluctuation going up to 80, where it's like the amount that they're losing from individual sales might be made up by the cost difference. But once you get to 100, you're just leaving so much money on the table that it's not even worth charging that much for any edition of the game. At least in expectations. Who knows? Rockstar might be able to drive hype between now and then if they do end up selling it for that. They might be the only company that could get it. But at least where the surveys are right now, it's not happening.
Yeah, I would expect them to do 80. Try 80.
They could probably get away with 80.
Yeah.
Because right now, they said about 60% of consumers that have even any interest in Grand Theft Auto would be willing to at 70. Like, definitely, probably at 70.
If I was into GTA, that would seem reasonable. Sorry, were you just...
No, that was it.
Oh. Gotta remember eating pizza, too. Well, on the other end of the spectrum, what do you think about Megabonk?
I don't know what that is.
You don't? It's the latest craze.
Do I strike you as someone who follows crazes?
It looks like it's basically a 3D Vampire Survivor.
Okay. So it's like a wave management game.
Yeah, it's $10.
That's not bad, I guess.
And apparently it's it's the biggest thing to hit Twitch, I guess. I mean, it's got 59,000 people playing it right now with an all-time peak of 117,000. the next big indie cheapo hit. It looks cheap. It actually doesn't even look as good as Vampire Survivor.
It probably isn't.
Been hearing a lot about it. Yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. It's 3D. Yeah, whatever you call it, bullet hell or what did you call it?
I was calling it a wave management game, right?
Waves.
Because it's like you're there and waves just keep coming after one after another after you, and you get upgrades and they become progressively harder. And it's how well can you manage this wave until everything crashes down on you, which
They overwhelm you.
is a great idea if you're trying to deal in like a horror survival situation. Like zombie games would be perfect with that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of it even comes from probably, I would guess, the first, was it Black Ops the first one? Or actually, I think it was World at War was the very first one to do this. But Call of Duty has a zombies mode, right? Where you have to try to protect your spot or whatever. It's almost like a tower defense. The zombies come at you and you have to manage the waves. There's other games like that too.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead is kind of like that. Visjosa says Dead Rising. No, Dead Rising is more of like an action exploration game where you do have to handle zombies. I think there might be a mode that's wave management, but the game itself isn't. It's actually kind of a somewhat story, mostly experience-driven game of going through, doing side quests and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is this is just like nothing but. It's just you just upgrade, try to move around, try not to get overwhelmed for as long as you can, and depending on how far you get more upgrades. And Asmongold was talking about why these are so popular, and it's because, according to him, or in his opinion, it's because of the very rapid progression that's kind of, gives you that dopamine hit. You get upgrades really fast.
Oh, yeah.
And you raise levels or whatever.
It gives you like all the experience of playing an RPG, but like in short time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just progress so quickly.
It's the same reason why roguelikes are very popular, right? Because it's like I get to just do a run. All the experience that I would get from maybe a longer game, I can get in this shorter run. I can put it down and I can come back later. There's a big overlap between these type of wave management games and roguelites.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, to me, it's mainly because it's just not complicated. I could pick up, I haven't played Vampire Survivors in, I don't know, over a year or two. I could pick it up today and remember everything the upgrades do, and right where I left off, it'd be no problem. But I can't pick up World of Warcraft.
To be fair,
definitely not retail.
People who play World of Warcraft can't pick up World of Warcraft. Like even the people who are doing modern, what's the highest, the Mythic raids? The current Mythic raiders are still complaining at each other for not being able to do their stuff properly because they've just made the game too complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Gamers like me don't have limited time. I can't dedicate my life to a game like it's a job. I can't learn all the ins and outs and all the tricky stuff.
Well, and I think that's what you see.
I was kind of thinking about that.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I was saying you see that is the rise in gaming in general, right? Casual gaming has become a far bigger thing than it used to be because really only kids, teenagers have like not even just enough time, enough care to fully dedicate yourself to a game. Like even if it all the time in the world, I just wouldn't want to, right? So like games are almost built around that. Even the stuff like you see me playing all the time, right? They seem kind of complicated because I've been playing it for a long time and I'm really deep into the game, but it builds up incrementally in very short bursts. Like if you were playing along with it, you would never question anything because they introduce stuff to you. And if you started from the beginning now, you'd still be learning it at about the same pace. And like the Hoyo games are built for you to just play an hour or two at a time, and that's it. A lot of competitive games now are built for you to do 15 to hour. That's the whole thing. A 15, a 30, an hour long type of game mode, and then you're done. Like that's my lunch break. I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. The only people who play any game like that almost religiously are ranked players, right? Who, for the most part, tend to be younger people. They tend to be teenagers and college age people who, well, you would hope the college players would have better things to do with their time because they're in college, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah. I mean, even even the new Pokemon, which is everywhere, Pokemon Legends Z to A. Is that how you say it? Z2A or Z?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
It's like they're so complicated. Even that's complicated to me. It's like, oh, what? Is steel strong against fairy? I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
No grass, water, and grass, water, and fire.
If you ever read a fairy tale, you're like, yes, the knight's sword is good against fairies, obviously. That's their logic.
Mm-hmm.
And fairies beat dragons, which also makes sense because dragons usually have some type of vulnerability to magic and not human weapons.
Okay. Well, I was actually thinking about that. You were playing Final Fantasy VI. It's not that that game is complicated, but I was thinking, do people who watch streams expect you to know all of the tricks and the cheats and the,
Oh yeah, like I remember there was a dude in the chat, which was perfectly fine. It's not my first playthrough, so I don't mind somebody telling me stuff that I missed, especially stuff that I've gotten before. But like, even a game I've played, this is probably my 7th playthrough of 6 out of like the entire time I've played it. But the last time I played it was like 10 years ago, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a anal knowledge of Final Fantasy VI when I haven't played it in 10 years. It's been so long, I forgot that Cyan's family die in the game. I thought they were already dead when we meet him because that's just how long it's been since I played the game.
Is City Skylines too complex? I don't think so.
No, because it also builds up incrementally, right? It's like playing the older SimCity games as well, where you start off and it's like, okay, well, right now you really only have access to a residential, commercial, and industrial lot, and you have to try to manage those together and power, right? And then as the game goes, you unlock more and more, and your cities become more complex, and you start getting better. Yeah. You're probably not going to do well your first run of SimCity, especially if you're playing. I think the SNES one was actually a version of the 4th SimCity, maybe? It wasn't the original, but it was the first one that was on a console. Oh. No, it wasn't SimCity 4. It was because SimCity 4.
I thought it was the 3D. First one.
I think it's the 3rd edition of the first one. I think that's what I'm remembering. It's not the original edition of the first one. I know that.
Right.
I might be thinking that it is the first, but it's a later edition of the first. It's like the 3rd or 4th version. But regardless, it is the first one that most people played. A lot of people didn't play the original computer version of SimCity before that. Yeah, because SimCity 4 had integration with the Sim 2. That was way later. And most people were going to lose, basically, their first run of SimCity. Right? Like, you're just, whatever you call losing, but you're probably going to make a failure of a town. It's not going to be that great. You're not going to hit most of your goals that you want to hit for it. You might even get to a point where they want to out you as mayor, which is an actual thing that could happen to you in the original SimCity. But you play it enough times, you get better at the game, and you're like, oh, well, I was, oust you. Even having a bad run the first time, he's like, okay, but I know what these things I'm going to get are later. So when I go in the second time, I can plan around getting those things later. And you just get better at the game. I don't think City Skylines or games like that are too complex. Especially because City Skylines really isn't built around you spending 100 hours on a city. You can. There are people who do, but they probably expect you to spend anywhere between 2 to 10 hours on a single city before giving it up and starting a new one. Right. That's just kind of the game plan there. I think games that start to get too complex are ones where they try to throw 100 mechanics at you within the first 30 minutes of the game. And that's fine. Gamers are fine with that. You could throw 100 mechanics at me in the first 30 minutes of a game. I'll pick them all up. I'm fine with that. I'm used to it. A lot of people are just like, can I play a game that's got 5 mechanics in it top? You know?
Yeah. Introduce me to one every hour.
I want to jump on Goombas.
Yeah. I'd say if it's Chozo, any MMO.
Yeah.
Just about any MMO is too complex for most adults. That would be my answer. But, you know, I can pick up...
Wukong is probably too complex for half of adults. A lot of people, like, they bought it, they enjoyed it, they put it down, and they just watch somebody else beat it instead.
Mm-hmm. Most action RPGs nowadays are just like, you know, especially Final Fantasy, where they throw you in a tutorial. At least I remember this from Final Fantasy 15, and they teach you 20 different mechanics.
Like all at once.
Like in 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so complex. It's overwhelming.
Stranger of Paradise, you can't even start the game until you've gone through a mechanics tutorial. That shows you like all the major mechanics.
Yeah, where they teach you like...
And there's like 10.
Yeah, and it's like, it's crazy. Like I played Stranger of Paradise recently. Mm-hmm. And
you remember, like, there's like this red
after
kind of like field that you're dropped into. And you're like, you have to do all these mechanics before they even let you start in like Corneria or whatever.
Yeah, one of the little goblin guys almost killed me in the tutorial.
Yeah. So there's a lot of games that do that. I don't think they should. Yeah. It doesn't seem like very good game design to me. You could have a ton of mechanics in your game, but introduce them incrementally across the game. We don't need it to be super action-y right from the start, because it might be too action-y for people to be used to it, and you might lose some of your players.
Yeah, they used to, you know, if a game like that were done the way they used to be, they would basically give you one mechanic, maybe two, and you'd have to, that would be all you can do for the first stage or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
First area. And then the second area, they'd introduce you to one more. And you could add that third one, and they'd heavily bias that next stage or area towards that one mechanic.
Yeah.
Right? So you get a lot of practice at that one, but you can also use the other two. And then the next one would add one more.
Of like a really intense franchise, but one that does a good job of introducing you to stuff. I had you playing the original Devil May Cry. And Devil May Cry is one of those series that is like, it's known for how intense the combat can be. But like at the very beginning of the game, you didn't really feel overwhelmed by the mechanics or anything, did you? It was more of just trying to figure out what you were supposed to do in the mansion or castle or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was easy at the beginning. I didn't felt like I knew all the moves.
Yeah. And you get your new moves incrementally over time.
Yeah. And the latest Zeldas, they kind of they kind of force you into a tutorial that a lot of people don't particularly like.
Yeah.
But like, okay, we're going to introduce all the new abilities. Well, we're going to give you a shrine that focuses on one, and then we're going to give you a shrine that focuses on the next one.
And it does take a while, right? Like, even if you're doing a decent pace in the original, most people spend half an hour on the Great Plateau. So it's like, what, you get 4 kind of mechanics up there, 5 if you count the paragliding mechanic you get at the very end, in half an hour. That's not a bad pace. Most people can pick that up.
Yeah.
You don't even get complex
and
combat
in Tears
mechanics
of the Kingdom,
until you get to, was it Hateno Shrine or is it Kakariko? One of those two was a tutorial shrine that taught you like parrying and all that stuff. But like, if you could figure it out early, you could have that they reward you, but they're not trying to force it on you until maybe an hour and a half into the game.
Yeah. And I think Tears of the Kingdom did an even better job with the the Great Sky Island, where in between each shrine, I mean, they did it a little bit in Breath of the Wild, but in between each shrine, you had to then figure out how to combine what you'd learned so far to get to the next shrine.
Yeah, I think they may have overcorrected there though,
So
because you just spend so long in the
it
Great
is a little
Sky
longer,
Island. Yeah. I think it was like an hour and
I
45
loved it.
minutes.
Yeah. Well, I loved it because there's lots of enemies and nooks and crannies, and they made it almost like a giant dungeon where you just, as long as you stay up here, you can kind of practice a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
I'm biased.
But that's well, I'm going to say that's still how you
I
should
don't
make
know.
a game though. I think it's better. You don't want to coddle your players because you might lose some of their interest there. But you do want to make sure that they've been given a sufficient amount of information, whether it's told to them or through experience. Experience is always better before they move on and will need it later.
Mm-hmm.
I think 16 had that same problem, right? Not as much. I think the tutorial was actually shorter than the Stranger Paradise one, but I was playing it. There's a part where they just like shove you into a sparring pit, like a wooden fenced off area, the type that you might have two people fighting in tournament against each other. And you have to spar against the leader of the guard, the head guard to your father. And he's like, let me show you every single basic move you need in the game right now. Let me show you light attack. Let me show you thrust. Let me show you how to do the warp. Let me show you dodge. Let me show you parry. It's like, I think there was about 10 things shoved in a section that should have only taken 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how fast you progress through it. Right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Too much, too fast.
And it's an easy game. You actually don't even need half of the stuff they showed you in there. They're just like, no, we got to make sure you know it all. We can't let you discover it on your own. We got to make sure you know it all.
Yeah. Or introduce it to you later.
Yeah.
Do you need to know all of that right away?
Yeah, because then it's like they still
And then they have
show
an
you everything.
excuse.
Right? With the More Ball, they showed you 3 more mechanics in that fight alone.
Yeah. And then you have an excuse to sort of design an area around a particular mechanic. To sort of a tutorial, but fun.
And like games just become endless mechanics. A lot of them, as I would say, are false mechanics, right? Where they don't actually even do anything for the game. But it's just endless mechanics instead of making your experience around the ones you have better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've had situations where I will get partway through a game, maybe halfway through, and then put it down for a while. Sometimes just like a month, sometimes years, but that's sometimes just a month, and then I come back and I'm like, I know there's like all these complex mechanics. I can't even remember them all. So it's other things I could just pick up and just.
That was my
I
problem
remember
with,
this. This worked.
Breath of the Wild in general is it's a pretty easy game. I had no problem playing it anytime I actually play it, but I have to take like a warm-up section or session of Breath of the Wild because there's too many buttons and macros and stuff for the controller you're playing on, right? Like it's like, okay, well I have to hold L1 while hitting this button to do this thing. Like there's the only way I could throw a weapon or whatever the heck that macro was. It's like there's just too many buttons.
Yeah.
And I've thought about trying to use buttons more efficiently in games way back in the day, like in the PS2 era. I thought of like, well, we could do more if we macroed stuff. But I don't think people think about the way the gamer is going to interpret the controller while they're holding it. Like, it's one thing I think Final Fantasy 14 does this fine as an MMO. It's one thing if the macro, like holding it down, makes that button do more of what it already does. Like, oh, this is just a different version of what it does. Because people are going to associate that button with this action. So if you have like a fire spell on B, right? But then you also want to have a lightning spell, but you don't want to map spells to every single button. You're like, okay, well, that button already does spell. If I hold down one of the triggers and do that button, my brain already knows that it does spell, right? Like, that's fine. Having a whole different mechanic centered to a button that's not even related to the thing that it did is just going to confuse people more often than not. Like, what do you mean the button that I use to talk to people is also the button that I use to, I don't know, flip tanks, you know?
Yeah. Well, funny. I experienced that recently with Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
The button that you use to, like, if you find a new gun under the water, you can like take it apart, and then you get the parts, and you can use that to make better guns. The button you use to do that is also the button that you use to use your special item in sort of the middle box.
Yeah.
And so if you've got it set to like an oxygen tank and you're already like near full oxygen, if you're not careful and you don't watch to see it say, okay, now this button is for taking apart this weapon, you'll accidentally use up all your oxygen.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
It's like shit.
All the time in games, right?
Damn it.
Or like, because everything's so sensitive now, you're playing a game, right? And you go to do one thing, and you know that the button is going to do the thing you want it to do, but by the time you press it, you were so close to something else, another pop-up that it could interact with came up in between, and it decides to do that instead of the thing that you told it to do. Like, that happens to me when I'm playing, like, Genshin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to walk into this door, but the pop-up for a person next to the door didn't actually pop up till I walked up to the door, and then I'm in a conversation with this person, even though I wanted to go through the door. Yep.
Some of those things, you need to think through them a little bit better.
Yeah. Let's see. If it says, seems like the YouTube algorithm is pushing nothing but shorts and Twitter is pushing nothing but premium. Now, I believe that Twitter actively is pushing premium. That's in their best interest. But when it comes to the word algorithm, just anytime that you're about to say algorithm on YouTube or most places, replace the word with audience.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then things will make more sense. YouTube audience is pushing nothing but shorts because that's what most people are watching. And it literally just reflects where the views and watch time is. They even have their site kind of built around the type of audience too. If you are on browser, you are far more likely to see long-form content on your browser. Even to some degree, streaming. But obviously, it has categories for all of them. Gaming, shorts, stuff like that. You'll get a big mix. If you're on TV, TV doesn't push shorts at all because they know the TV watching audience likes long-form content. So they'll push longer videos after certain watch time, 10 minutes or longer. And they'll push live streams to you because a lot of the live streaming audience watches on TV, even though you can't interact with the chat from TV. People just like to put one on in the background because they know they don't have to change the channel anytime soon. And if you're on phone, it definitely pushes shorts to you above anything else because a lot of the people who use the YouTube app more than anything tend to watch shorts. In fact, if the last thing you watched on the app was a short, when you open it back up, it will bring you to the shorts feed immediately, not even to the home. And it's because of general watch habits.
Yeah. On my app, maybe, is this not the same for everyone? I assumed it was. Maybe not. When I bring up the YouTube app, top thing is an ad.
Yeah.
A video that looks like a YouTube video, but it's an ad for something. Right below that, 2 or 3 rows of shorts. That's all I see.
I think it does curate to what you watch.
And then
I do watch more shorts on my phone than I do like long form content, but I also watch a lot of live streams on my phone because I'll be sitting there playing the Hoyo games, doing like my daily reset and everything, and I'll leave like a live stream on next to me while I'm playing. But it's like it does depend where you leave it though, right? If you left on watching a normal video, it will bring you to the home when you boot it back up. Which will usually have an ad at the top anyway, because there's always like an ad at the top. If you left on a like the last thing you watched
on the
short,
homepage.
It will actually just start you on the shorts feed if the last thing you watched was a short. And
well, I'm talking about like
time. Yeah,
I'm talking about like if I close the app and open it again, like completely close it.
Yeah,
it always goes to the homepage, but that's my homepage apparently.
Yeah. That is just
nothing
your
but
short.
Yeah. So I usually stick. I mean, it makes it harder. Now, if you scroll down far enough, you'll see some regular, longer videos. But I used to go to the homepage to find new content because there would be. I mean, this was like 6 months ago, not very long. There'd be interesting stuff that would cater to me because it would be similar to what I'm subscribed to. That's what they used to do. I mean, it's still interesting. I still watch the shorts.
My first thing after the ad is our live stream that we're on right now. Then it's another ad. Then it is a long form video. Another ad. It's like an ad in between every single one. Long form video. Then I get to shorts. Yeah. And I think it's because I do watch a lot of long form videos that it decides that it's going to put long form videos and streams first.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's my own fault.
Yeah. Well, because you're the audience and they are trying to cater the app to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've got a big old video that's an ad for World of Warcraft. And then this live stream. And then, shorts. And then and then finally a video by somebody who I don't know.
Yeah, I had at least 2 long-form videos before I even hit a shorts thing.
Yeah, and then another ad.
Yeah. Of course, I don't complain. My ads are usually for things that I do anything. Like, the second ad was for Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, when I was just scrolling through.
I'll tell you. So, getting back to games, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I play a lot of, like, what do you call them? Freemium games, mostly match games and things like that.
Yeah.
The ads, and I
are they horrendous?
I think as far as I can think, well, first of all, I follow. I think who was it that said this? I don't know. Some streamer said this, but I follow the same rule. If a game forces an ad on you that you didn't choose, uninstall.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I might play it for a little while longer, but after the second or third, I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm uninstalling it. So I only play games where I could choose not to watch any ads.
Yeah.
Not a single
one.
We're
talking about strictly external ads, though.
But
I don't mind if a game gives me an ad for, like, the new thing in the shop when I start it up, and I have to wait for that to go. It's for external targeted ads, things like that.
Yeah, or, I mean, basically, I play games that, you need energy for, typically, to make the next move. And so I'll watch an ad to get more energy, or watch an ad to get more of this and that.
Opt-in.
Totally voluntary. Yeah. But I'll tell you that the ads themselves are getting so annoying, like more than, like, it's getting worse and worse. I can tell, because I've been playing some of these games for years, and I'm like, I do not remember ever before until like a month or two ago ever seeing a 2-minute ad that you could not skip. And that's becoming more and more prevalent.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, but I need to, if I want to play the way I used to, I'd
hey, Joshua.
have to, I might want to click on an ad every 30 seconds. I might want to do like watch 10 of them, because before they'd be anywhere from 10 seconds to maybe 30, but you could like skip it after 15 or something like that. Now it's like half of them are 120 seconds. And if you try to skip, like an X will appear. And like, oh, thank God. Click it. You don't get your reward if you close this.
Yeah, of course. You have to watch it all the way through.
Countdown. And the worst is the countdown. I'm like, okay, I know Yeah. I'm thankful I can put my phone down. I'll do it at work sometimes. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to click that. Oh, 2-minute ad. Great. I can get some work
Dude,
done.
I have not played a game like that where I needed an ad
Come
for
back to it later.
something in
But,
so long. I think the last one was Brave Exvius, or War of the Visions, Brave Exvius Final Fantasy.
I got to...
Yeah. Which I used to. You'd get some of the
stop
in-game
because,
currency.
I mean,
if
it
you
wasn't that bad when the... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only, like I said, the only games I ever watch or I ever play on the phone are ones that don't force ads on you, but I'll choose to because, you know, it gives it a little extra. You could play the game without them, though. But I'll tell you, it's frustrating when it's like, oh, you know, this will give me, you know, another 10 minutes of enjoyment if it gives me some extra energy or whatever. But then you click on it and it's like, 2 minutes. Jeez.
Also been noticed that ads have been getting worse in general. I've been seeing way more horrible AI ads, like where like the ad was clearly made with AI. Separately, you could tell somebody actually composited these parts together, but it's like game ads have always been bad for mobile games because they'll put an ad up where the thing you see in the ad is absolutely nothing to do with the game that they're asking you to download, right? Like, you know, plenty of those ones where it's like it'll show a guy going through a dungeon to save a princess, but then when you go to download the game, it's not even the thing that they showed on there. Well, now I've been seeing more of like adventure, survival, even farming sim games. At least that's what the ad looks like. And I could tell that this was all rendered with AI because it's showing basically the same shot over and over again with different characters and stuff, and it's only a few seconds of it. It's basically like putting an animated GIF on the screen and with a voice going over it where I could tell that the voice was also a script being read by AI because it sounds like a normal human voice, but it sounds like it's being read way too stiff and like an AI voice would be. And you'd think the commercials would be getting better as AI improves, but they're worse commercials than before. And I think it's because as more people get access to it, they're just going to pump out worse things. Before, people with more talent were pumping things out with AI. Now, your cousin Larry in his your aunt's basement can pump out a really bad ad with AI.
Larry, get out of the basement. Yeah, and here's the other funny thing about these ads. Like, half of them seem to have something to do with this Royal Match King dude, right?
Yeah.
Like what is this? Like, is this a who makes these games? Because there's like 50 of them and they're all featuring the same character, and
I know.
maybe it's all the same game. I don't even know.
It's getting worse. The quality, not just the frequency, but the quality is getting worse too.
Yeah. And the other, okay, so my least favorite, I mean, this might even be worse than the 120-minute, because sometimes it's like a minute long or something, or there'll be like 2 ads back to back that are each 30 seconds and unskippable. The Google ads. I mean, I don't mean like Google ads, but the ads for like Google Chrome.
Yeah. Or
will be
Google Lens or any
an animation
features like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be an animation that only takes about 5 seconds. You know, the spinning ball from Chrome, and then like a little word or something, you know, a couple of phrases. And then it'll just repeat and repeat and repeat
until
like 6 times. And I'm like, what the fuck is, like I have to have this on the screen for 30 seconds, even though it's a 5-second ad. It's, and then the next one, because now they're starting to do these ones that are 2 back to back. And so then the next 30 seconds will be something else obnoxious like that, where it's like you're just repeating over and over. The other one recently is the what's it called, the lottery app, where you can play the actual lottery. You can get lottery tickets on your phone now. And that'll just like be very short, but it'll have to play 5 times. It's ridiculous.
Well, you want to talk about a game that might have ads in it if you want to get bonuses? Just because it's a Square game, and almost all their mobile games give you that option every single time. The other day, Square announced a new one, and it is a part of the Dissidia franchise, which I do like Dissidia a lot. The last Dissidia mobile game that they did was called Final Fantasy Dissidia Oh, I'm trying to remember. Opera Opium, I think was the name of it. I just remember it as DOO, Dissidia Opera Opium. And that was like a turn-based RPG where you collected the different characters from the games. And Dissidia is a crossover game for Final Fantasy that brings everything together and puts the heroes from the different ones against some high-stakes threat, sometimes chaos, sometimes an incarnation of chaos. Usually you're helping Cosmos or some incarnation of her. And this one has the stench of Tetsuya Nomura all over it. I mean, they announced that he is the producer of the game, but this one is so different even from all the other ones. It's an action game, which aside from DOO, all of them, the Dissidia games are action games. The first two were technically a fighting game, like an arena fighter, and you could actually play against your friends and stuff. The current one is also an arena fighter, NT, but it doesn't have a storyline to it. The first two games had story modes, and there's no leveling. It's just actually a raw 3v3 fighter. This seems to be a co-op game where you could play by yourself with your teams, or you could play with other players. Seems to be vertical only, and it's called Final Fantasy... Oh, sorry, I'm saying it backwards. Dissidia comes first this time. Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy. So it's DDFF. As you know, the bra sizes tend to go when you're looking at them in order on the rack. And this one is in a normal world, I guess. Reverse isekai? I guess all of the Dissidia games are technically isekai from the perspective of the main characters, because they get ripped out of their world to solve a problem in another one. The first one took place in World B, which is the broken time loop mirror of World A from the first Final Fantasy game. This one is like in Tokyo or something. Like it just looks like a normal city, and they have regular outfits that you can get for the characters. There's a whole website for it if you want to check it out. I will probably play it. I don't think I'll play it on stream. Maybe. I do have a capture device for capturing phone games, but I feel like with the battery life of this phone, playing a game, I could probably get 30 minutes of capture at best, maybe an hour, before it's too low that I'm comfortable continuing to play it. Unless I get like a splitter where I can charge and capture at the same time. That would probably fix it. But I will play it for a while because I play all of these Square mobile games at least for a while. That one seems like it's going to suck the battery life out of the phone while playing it, just looking at it. I signed up for the open beta. You could, or is it a closed beta? I think it's a closed. But you can sign up for the beta right now on their website if you've got a good enough phone for it. We don't know if there'll be a PC version of the game, which the last game that they did a PC version of was Ever Crisis. And then the last game before that was Mobius Final Fantasy. And there was almost a decade between the launch of both of those games. So it's not really something they do very often. They should, if they want more people to play, make a Steam version. But this game, like I said, it looks completely vertical. Like there's not a landscape version, which is weird for an action game to be to be vertical only, portrait.
Yeah. Yeah, only. Well, no, I guess I was going to think. If I was thinking, I was thinking of an action game but no, that wasn't an action game. I was thinking of a different game that was vertical. Yeah, usually they're landscape.
Yep. And also the designs of the characters.
Well,
like, I don't know. Aside from Lightning, because I've already seen Lightning in just normal people clothes. They tried to market Lightning off as a Louis Vuitton model at one point. So, like, it's not weird seeing her in normal clothes. It is weird seeing a bunch of these other characters in normal clothes. Though I do think Kryl from Final Fantasy V looks really cute in her little beanie with the Moogle ears on it, like a little cat ear beanie that fits her. But my biggest concern more is who they're deciding to be launch characters. Because some of them are like, really? You chose that character to be in launch to represent that game? For example, one of them, the Final Fantasy XIV representative for the launch of Duellum is going to be Gaia. Now, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you or anyone else, that's because to meet Gaia, you would have not only had to play all the way to Shadowbringer, which is the third expansion after A Realm Reborn's relaunch. There was Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, then Shadowbringer, but she wasn't even a main character to the Shadowbringer story. She was the raid story character. And they're like, yeah, that's going to be the Final Fantasy XIV represent. Not Y'shtola, who has been before, not like Thancred or any other cool character you get to see for most of the game. Gaia from the Eden raids is going to be that. Probably because I bet Nomura designed her. I'm just gonna go out and guess that he was the person that designed Gaia, and that's why she was the one picked. The people who like the Eden raids like her. That's a very small number of people, though.
Yeah.
Or they picked Prompto, which I like Prompto. I'm not gonna shit on Prompto, but for Final Fantasy 15, we're like, yeah, we're gonna put Prompto, the guy with the camera that was taking pictures with your crew the whole time. And he was a fighter. He was one of the Chocobros, one of the main people. But like the geeky one who was taking pictures with his camera the entire time you guys were out. That's the one we're gonna put in as the representative for this game. I guess he fits the kind of like modern day world better than most of the other guys do. But I guess the Final Fantasy 15 characters practically lived in a modern day world anyway. Before they went on the road trip, Insomnia kind of just looked like New York or something, you know? Weird decisions all around.
So is that available now?
No. Like I said, it's going to be in beta. So people who want to get into it can sign up for the beta now. I don't know. I think it said when they're going to start calling in people for it on there, but I just can't remember the date. It'll probably be available, I think, in April, I think is when the game goes live. Sometime next year.
Is it called Dissidia?
Yeah, it's Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy.
Oh, Dissidia Duellum?
Yeah. Cool. Dissidia's become its own franchise at this point. Which the original is great. It's hard to get a hand of it. They need to do an HD port of Dissidia and actually make it online capable so people can fight against each other. But the original one is it's just an action RPG. It's basically like giving Kingdom Hearts aerial combat to Final Fantasy characters. It's the type of game that people who watched Advent Children wanted to play after watching Advent Children. And you play as both the good guys and the bad guys. There's like different stories for that. They pull everybody together, and it's a war between the people helping Cosmos and the villains helping Chaos. It's the Warriors of Light versus... I don't even want to say the Warriors of Dark, because the Warriors of Dark have been good guys in the past. Just the Warriors of Light versus the baddies of Darkness, right? Yeah, everybody's playable in the original Dissidia. Usually, like, the main rep from each game. Warrior of Light, Furion, Onion Knight, Cecil, Bart, Tina, Cloud, Squall. Like, you've all the people. There's one person from each one in the original. And also their big rival. Garland, Kefka, like, all those guys are all there. Golbez. Very fun game. You get to see how they'd fight in an action setting. Because it's got that Kingdom Hearts style aerial combat, it really fits what you imagine these characters to be able to do. They're like Dragon Ball Z fights with Final Fantasy characters, clashing swords in the air, shooting magic at each other. They let the mages actually play like mages. Kefka just sits back and throws lightning balls and stuff at people. You know, like they all play the way you'd want them to in that game.
Yeah. Wasn't Final Fantasy Type 0... Was that a mobile game at first, or was it?
No. Type 0 was going to be
a Vita game or something.
I think it was originally going to be on Vita, and then they ported it instead. But that was going to be one of the Final Fantasy 13 spinoffs. That was going to be
that's
Nova Crystallis, right? And then it became Type 0.
Yeah. Well, on PlayStation, it's 60% off.
Oh, yeah.
I think I should get it for.
I don't think you'll like it.
$8.
Oh, yeah.
I played
you
the
might as well
beginning.
pick it up. Yeah. Well, it uses a draw system. It's just a better, more simplified version of the draw system from 8, so it's not like playing 8.
Yeah. I mean, I figure
Yeah.
$8.
Yeah.
Might as well. It's probably never going to be cheaper than that.
The most forgettable game in the entire Final Fantasy franchise.
Okay.
Which is
I didn't even know it existed until I stumbled across it.
All the 13 stuff was so hyped when they were announcing them. They announced like 5 games all at once, right? After 13 came out, they're like, yeah, there's Versus 13, there's Nova Crystallis. We're announcing that regular 13 is going to have a direct sequel and a sequel to that. 2 and 3 for 13 were announced at the same time. They didn't even wait for 2 to come out before announcing 3 for it. There were so many projects attached to 13 announced. One of them became 15 eventually, though it looks nothing like Versus 13. It's completely different. Aside from it still has some of the aerial combat and stuff that they were basically trying to make a mainstream Final Fantasy that played like Dissidia. But it doesn't. No mainstream Final Fantasy plays as well as Dissidia has. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened there. Don't the people who make that system still work at your company? Make a game that plays like that. Still make it a spinoff, but make a game that plays like that, please. I love the way Dissidia plays. And that's a PSP game, the original one.
Oh, yeah. This looks pretty cool, but it's Android only. The closed beta. At least.
The beta is Android only. I think they did say that it's going to be on Apple, but that'll be after it goes live.
Yeah. But it says the closed beta is November 7th to the 14th. 1 week.
Okay.
And have you applied for it?
Yes, I did apply for it.
There's a whole ass application. Jesus.
Yeah. I had to fill out a survey. God. They asked about the phone, the device specs, and based on the ranges they gave, my phone fit in the upper end of everything. So I don't think the device is going to end up being the problem.
I would hope so. You only got that a year ago, right?
Yeah. But it was like you got like a mid-line one for the year that it came out. But we picked that one specifically because a lot of the people I talk to and stuff who play different mobile games, especially in China, that is actually the model line that a lot of people went for. I think we went one up from the one that people were talking about. So it should be able to run everything.
You're just looking for something that could do 5G and play anything modern.
Oh yeah, my old phone
was
can't play
free,
anything
right?
anymore.
Yeah,
it's practically free. Yeah,
I remember when Genshin Impact came out. I think I had an iPhone 7, or something like that. Is that possible? Whatever it was, I thought it was decent, but it would not play Genshin Impact.
Yeah, because it would have been.
I had to upgrade to a 13 or something.
Late 2019. I don't know what iPhone was available at late 2019, but
probably like three or four, 3 or 4 higher than the one I had.
The one I just upgraded from last year could play it. The Samsung Galaxy 8 Edge had no problem playing Genshin Impact. I just hate playing that with a touchscreen.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, this looks great. The Final Fantasy characters appear in new outfits. I love the who is that? Is that Tifa? Yes, it is. I think it is.
No, you can look at the character screen, and it does show you everybody who's going to be in the launch. And they also had a screen in there that had shadowed characters.
Is that Zidane?
Yes.
Like with the chain and the belt and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
He's in it.
Yeah.
These are all also Nomura designs. The default outfits and stuff are Tetsuya Nomura designs.
Ooh, I like Lightning. She's stylish.
Mm-hmm.
in her white coat. But who are these other? Okay, so that's got to be 16. So 7 is Terra in? Like, I'm looking at the main kind of
yes. Terra
image
slash
that they
Tina
got on their
is in
webpage
there.
with like in pink, wearing like a pink bow in her hair and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And then like the one with the
Kind of
little
looks a
cat
little weird
ear
with
beanie
blonde hair.
is Kryl.
From
5. Yeah, Gallus' daughter is the one with the
wow.
cat ear beanie there.
Okay.
Which
Well,
makes
who's the
sense
other? Is
because
that Cecil?
with the white hair is the Warrior of Light
That's
in the
kinda-
trench coat.
In the trench coat.
There's a guy with white
No,
ear
with
hair
like a.
with a
Oh,
sword
really?
and
With like a
shield.
blue zigzag? No.
I
this
don't
is
remember
someone
seeing
else.
Cecil on
I
there,
think it's
but
Cecil.
the Warrior of Light was there, and he's not wearing his normal outfit.
Oh, no. It's
Kane?
Kane.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got
Kane's
his
on there.
dragon
Yes.
spear. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
if you said Spear, it would be like, oh, that's Kane. I saw Kane in the trailer. Yeah, he's on there.
Well, I didn't. Yeah. I had to
But
click
there's a
on it
tab
to
on
see
the site that
spear.
actually does have the characters that will be there on launch.
Oh yeah. See, I thought the Warrior of Light guy. I thought that might be a guy from 16. That I just didn't recognize.
That's Final Fantasy 1. Which he normally
who
kind of looks like
is-
that. He's got the long white hair. It's just usually in blue armor. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He just wants to kill chaos.
No. That's what's his face? I'm trying to remember his actual name. It's Garland, but his first
Garland.
name.
Yeah.
God, they
I
gave
just
him a
remember
name.
that. Yeah. I'd have to.
It's like a normal person name. It's like something Garland. Garland's his last name.
We're here to kill chaos. Well, I'm looking at his face. But
It's like a single syllable name to like Josh or something like that. It's like
Jack. Is
Jack Garland. Yeah, Jack Garland. And it was
Jack
into
Garland.
J. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack's the one who wants to kill
Yeah.
chaos.
It's Jack. That's right. Did you? I still think, like, every once in a while it pops in my head.
Chaos.
That video that what's his name? The Kiwi.
Booster?
Who's our Booster.
Yep. Booster Kiwi?
The video that Booster Kiwi did that video where he's talking to Lich,
Yeah.
and the Lich is like, I will destroy you, for I am, and then Jack goes, I don't give a fuck who you
Yeah.
are. Everyone burst out laughing. It's like, yeah, I get him.
Jack Garland.
That's hilarious. That's a really
I
funny
like Jack though. Jack's cool.
dialogue in that game. Yeah. And who is Prompto Argentum
I told you
from
Prompto
Final Fantasy 15?
is one of the Choco Bros. He's the scrawny blonde hair of the group. He's like Noctis's childhood friend. He's the one that's like the same age as him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, okay,
done.
so I see you were talking about. Yeah, you were talking about Gaia from Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, which most people looked at if they
That's
haven't.
quite an interesting.
She did show up in Opera Opium, so people who played that, which there'll probably be a big group of people who played the previous Dissidia game that are going to play this one. But if you didn't play that and you didn't do the raids in Shadowbringer specifically, a lot of people saw Gaia and they were like, who?
Mm-hmm.
Would Square allow you to make a Final Fantasy game, Fizz? No. Absolutely not.
No. Hell no.
Go
Are you
make a
kidding me?
mod.
No. Yeah, or make a Final Fantasy game, but change all the names and don't use the words Final Fantasy. How do you pronounce the Zidane?
So in English, they do say
Why don't you
Zidane. That is the commonly accepted one. The Japanese name is Jidan, right? Which is very close in spelling.
Yeah. Where's his tail? They don't have its tail.
I don't know. He's probably hiding in his pants or something. I mean, it's like
I guess. It's
wrapped
funny
around
because you
his
can
waist
switch
under
to
a
like his
shirt.
usual look.
Yeah, everybody's got their
Yeah.
classic looks in
You
this
switch
game.
to yeah, and there you can see his tail. But
He's probably
yeah,
pulling
he
a
looks
Saiyan from
like
Dragon Ball, right? He's just got it wrapped around his waist, had a shirt pulled over it.
I guess. I don't know who he looks like. He looks like some punk kid. I guess he is
Yeah.
a punk kid.
You know the person they should have picked?
Oh, Renoa. That's it. Renoa.
Yeah, they're trying to pick some people who aren't as commonly picked for the main cast, at least at launch. Obviously, the other characters are going to come. There's no way they're not going to. They're going to try to milk the shit out of it. This is the starting cast.
Yeah, I mean,
Instead of Lightning, they should have pulled in
Cloud's gonna be
Snow. Snow's outfit already fits the
Yeah.
world. They should have just put Snow in there. Dude just
Yeah, I
got a
haven't seen
beanie and a
much of him
trench coat.
lately. Yeah. Or my favorite,
Yeah.
Vanille.
Vanille, yeah, she's all right.
She's my favorite.
Zaz's outfit also kind of just or Saz or whatever.
He's pretty cool.
Well, he was the coolest person in the game. Like by the time we were done, I think Saz was actually the coolest person in the game. Going in, I thought it was going to be Snow. I wanted to like Snow so much. And it's like, he's okay, but the dude was such a dipshit the way that he did things. It's like, you lost half of your cool factor as we went through the game.
Yeah.
Though the way that he dealt with the Shiva sisters' bike, that was still pretty cool. He redeemed himself with that.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's cool that they're including Creel from Final Fantasy V,
Yeah.
but it's even cooler that I know who that is because I actually played that game all the way through.
Yeah. Not too long ago.
Yeah, for the first time.
There's the game I call Bart's and his harem of distraught princesses.
I know. Well, he, for a while he had another dude, but he had to die, so we could bring in his granddaughter, who's a bit young.
Who is also a princess. She is the heir to a kingdom, so it's like, yep. Even when I thought we didn't have a princess with us, the one that was a pirate, turns out she was a princess too. Thought she was a dude at first. Turns out, nope, another princess. It's princesses all the way down. It's the only people Bart gets to be close to in his life is princesses.
Well, you can't complain, right? Yeah, why is it that all female pirates end up being princesses?
I don't know.
I don't think it even started with Zelda. I think it was.
Well,
Isn't there a pirate princess like in One Piece or something?
Oh yeah. But there's like everything in One Piece.
Yeah.
No, the first pirate that you actually meet that is a good guy and happens to also be a girl. Both of them are the same one. Is oh god, what's her name? In 2, I can't remember her name.
Oh god,
you know who I'm talking about? She's drawn with like purple hair.
Final Fantasy 2?
Yeah. She's one of the
yes,
party members.
The one with the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't she have a dragon? Like that pulls her.
No, that's fine.
Her ship.
That's Ferris has a dragon that pulls the ship.
Oh, that was 5. Oh, okay.
But she's like the. There's always a
Maria
filler party
wasn't-
member. No, because Maria was like your main.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, that's why I'm blanking on her name. But it's like there's the 3 people. There's Furion, Maria, and Guy, and because what's his face? The actual you have to fight him at the end, and then he becomes the final party member. The friend that they lost the whole time, that they kind of implied originally, and I think maybe they've confirmed since then is actually Furion's brother. But they had a 4th friend. He went missing, and that spot gets taken by some guest party member every time you go to a new place.
Leela.
Yeah. And I think the other one was Leon.
Leela
was
or
the guy I was
Lila?
thinking of. But yeah, it was Leela, and she took Leon's spot in that section of the story.
Right. Leon is the guy who's missing the whole time, right?
Yeah. He's basically Kane before Kane.
Yeah. Although, wait, who's Rickard? Is that just another name for Leon?
No, Rickard is the first Highwind that we meet. They didn't have Dragoons as a class yet, but he's basically the first Dragoon in the Final Fantasy games. The class gets added in 3.
Right. You know, the story in Final Fantasy 2 is so good.
It is. It's great.
Like, I feel like they should redo it. They should remake it, but with, I don't know, Final Fantasy 6, type combat stuff.
Yeah, they should give you the 2 options, because again, when you boot up Dawn of Souls, right, and they'll give you, like, do you want to play original difficulty or the modern difficulty, right? They give you those 2 options. They should do that with 2, where it's like, they give you the option to either play with, like, Final Fantasy 6 ATB, with a standard leveling and you just learn the spells or whatever, or do you want to play with the original 2 mechanics? Like, just make a version that has both of those options in it, which shouldn't be hard with how they just did Tactics, having the original game and basically like a full redo in it.
Fitzgerald has a couple of questions, one of which I definitely know the answer to, which is, what if I pitched an idea to Square? They probably would not take the meeting. Yeah. And the second is, actually, I don't know, is Risky Boots a princess? She could. I
think she's actually a pirate queen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So she must have been a princess at some point.
Maybe. I mean, she could have just announced herself pirate queen after she already had the position. Like, if you just declare yourself king or queen after taking over, you become king or queen without having ever been a prince or princess.
No, she didn't follow the pirate.
I don't think she was
lineage.
Born into that. I think she just took over and became pirate queen.
Yeah, well,
especially
she's royalty,
considering,
anyway.
Especially considering the person that she kind of took the role from, because that was like the whole backstory to her, is that she took it from somebody else.
Yeah, the Pirate King, right?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you find out that? Yeah.
That's like the whole story of the pirate's curse and stuff, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know. Mind if I change the subject briefly?
Yeah, sure. Well, there's not as much to talk about Duellum. I just wanted to cover it. It's recent. We'll find out more as it gets closer to launch.
Yeah. I mean, thank you about that. I'm sure I can find an Android device. I'm going to go ahead and apply for the closed beta.
Yeah, I would have told you about
20,000
it
people, so it's a decent chance.
Sooner, but I forgot. And then you weren't here last night, so I'm like, we'll just talk about it on the show. We're not in a rush. The application isn't closing yet.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you like aura farming?
I wouldn't say I like it. I just kind of do it naturally,
Yeah. Well, if you want to, I mean, I'm not talking about like someone else, if you want to do the aura farming, what's coming up is solo leveling Arise Overdrive.
Oh, yeah.
Which is coming November 17th. And apparently the damn lucky people at TwitchCon are going to get a preview.
No interest in it whatsoever. Because, I'm sure you probably could come up with interesting mechanics to make a game like that fun. I'm sure you could. But it's like, one, I think for most anime games in general, you have to be interested in the license. Most of them aren't fun enough to justify you jumping in if you're not already interested. Some of them are. I can think of some where, the most recent Fist of the North Star game, which was done by the Yakuza team, has a lot of really good beat-em-up mechanics and stuff to it. It's if you took the beat-em-up aspects from Yakuza and gave it to Ken, well, then you just have a fun game right there. And I think people who aren't even into Fist of the North Star would enjoy that one particularly. So I could think of games, but most licensed anime games, you're not going to have fun in them if you aren't already a fan of the license.
Yeah. Well, Napple Maniac on Reddit did not think too highly of the game because apparently, I guess you can play it now to some degree, maybe a demo. It's a mobile game adapted to PC.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah. What's another? anime game that I think
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't like the franchise would probably still enjoy because of the mechanics. Back in the day, on I believe Game Boy Advance, there was a Dragon Ball series called Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku, which was a top-down action-adventure game that was very similar to like playing a Zelda game or whatever. But it was still an RPG, so you could level, and you could just like punch and shoot key blasts and stuff and go through the story of Dragon Ball Z. And mechanically, it was fun, even if you're not interested. Like, you could experience Dragon Ball Z entirely through that to a point. They never went through the whole thing. But it was just like classic top-down action-adventure RPG that was pretty legit. Probably the best Dragon Ball game ever made. I don't know why they stopped with that series and did anything else, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, these.
They almost made a new one.
I used
back in
to
the
think.
3DS. Got canceled.
Oh yeah. Are there no recent Dragon Ball games? I
Oh
seem
no,
to
they're always
remember.
making Dragon
Maybe
Ball
it's a
games.
fighting game.
But they only pretty much make like the fighting games or like pseudo MMOs that are just disguised fighting games. That's pretty much all they make with Dragon Ball now. While Legacy of Goku was just peak. It was great game design. Followed the story faithfully to the points it covered. They were going to make a Legacy of Goku 4 on the 3DS. Everybody, like, I was excited for it. Tons of people were excited for it. Never happened.
Yeah. It's a shame. I was gonna say, you know, I used to hate gaming websites, but now I just despise them. They're so.
It's gone from hate to loathe.
Well, it's not the content anymore. It's the fact that it's just practically crashes my browser.
Yeah, that's like every
Every
website. Though.
site.
Like everything's getting greedy, right? Let's load in some ads. Let's have videos playing. Even if they don't start, the video memory has to load in anyway. Like every website's
Plus,
getting greedy.
and they all now have that pop up where they force you to turn off your ad block.
Oh yeah. And now, here's a big complaint I have right here. Just a quick aside. Every site wants hardware acceleration turned on now, more or less. I mean, not every site. I'm on one right now that doesn't want it. But like, I'll go onto a site and there'll be a pop-up that says, "Please turn on hardware acceleration for like smoother animations or whatever." I'm like, listen, man. If I have to turn hardware acceleration on for your site to be functional, then you have a bad site.
Yeah,
Go make a better site.
that's what. Maybe that's why. No, I actually have hardware.
I'm
They
sure
call
you
it
do.
graphics acceleration. I have it on. Like sometimes turning it off will make those sites run slower and your whole computer run slower.
Yeah.
But I have it on, and this thing is like
Well,
crawling along.
it'll make the site run slower, but it'll make the rest of your computer run faster because it's not dedicating its resources to that fucking website. That's why I have mine off. It is like everything else runs better when I don't have hardware acceleration on my browser. My browser doesn't need hardware acceleration. I need that for other things, like if I'm playing a game or running OBS or something. I'll turn it on if I'm playing a game in browser. That's reasonable. If you have an actual game running in your site, sure, I'll go turn it on temporarily for that. But 99% of websites don't need my hardware acceleration.
Yeah. Plus, basically, hardware acceleration enables them to prevent you from taking screenshots.
Yeah.
You often have to turn off hardware acceleration. Oops. Sorry, video started. Well, I want to give you two brief stories that one of them's funny and the other one's they're both funny actually.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
One, I haven't watched. Apparently, this is only in video form. A current Minecraft dev is saying the creeper wouldn't be added to the game if it were made today because it'd be too controversial.
I'd believe that, yeah.
My only thought is And that's why you're not Notch.
Yeah.
That's why Notch is a multi-billionaire and you're not, dumbass.
Well, I mean, he could also just be
I'm
stating a
not
fact,
sure why.
right?
Like, what's controversial?
Where he would still be behind putting the creeper there, but like somebody above him, right? You think if it was made today at Microsoft, the people who own it, the safety board would definitely come up and be like, you can't have a creeper in it. Because the creeper, one, the word creeper, right, already trigger some people too. You're being a creeper. But then it's like a thing that stalks you and then blows up right when it's right next to you, like suicide bomb. Like I could see the arguments from a trust and safety board against that, which is why it's great that it was made by an indie company or an individual basically at the time for a game jam who doesn't give a shit about that. And like any good artist or developer would be like, those controversial things are actually part of what make things better, potentially. Like it's a joke that it's a creeper. But like trust and safety boards don't let shit like that slide.
Well, apparently the main thrust of it was the fact that it just blows up and destroys things that you build.
Well, I thought also because it looks like a dick.
That's what I thought, but or some the name creeper, but I could see the.
Well, I knew that the fact that it undoes your hard work would be part of it too. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was the main point, but either way, it's funny because that's like there's always been games where you do put in a lot of hard work and then there's some mechanic that'll totally fuck you up and blow things up or destroy whatever you've done. Like that's what makes it interesting because it'll be random and.
Well, that's why they added creative / God mode, right? Like if you don't want to deal with that stuff, then you turn that on instead.
Yeah. The other thing is I didn't know the person. Apparently, I guess the main person who said that GTA 6 quote unquote deserves to be $100 was a Saints Row designer.
That's funny.
I'm like,
yeah.
Now I don't know if it's from the more modern Saints Row or it says original Saints Row designer, but it's still
who's like none of them are even on the team anymore.
Yeah. It's like, or even if I guess it's a little bit of a different story if it was an original designer, but I was thinking it was from a current or more recent designer. I'm like, yeah, but you know how much of a flop the last Saints Row game was?
Yeah. Well, it's like the funny thing too, is like, especially considering the original, I would see why somebody like that would say that because the original Saints Row team loves Grand Theft Auto. But, like they loved it so much that they made their own version of Grand Theft Auto that grew into a parody of the game in the franchise, right? Saints Row really didn't start out so much as a parody. If you played the first one, it was a little more serious. But as the game grew, I mean, most of the jokes were even there by the second one, and that's the direction they took it in. I didn't like that as much. That wasn't the thing I liked about Saints Row. But the people who love Saints Row love it for its humor. So I could see a developer who liked the Grand Theft Auto series enough to make their own game would be like, yes, Grand Theft Auto deserves to be $100. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. On the other hand, he did say basically that GTA would be one of the very few, if not only, game that
could pull it off,
justify $100. Yeah, and that he was saying that even if they did, it would not give permission for other games. They'd have to be as good as GTA.
Yeah, but a lot of people are hoping that it will, even though like any sane person would agree with this developer. I think we all have been, but there are people that have been pushing like, yes, please release $100 game so that we can justify us releasing even a $90 game, because it's like, well, GTA was $100.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
Yep.
What didn't we get to of yours?
Let's just power through a couple things. Really cool thing, 29 years after it came out, the classic horror I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is getting a definitive update with bonus content, achievements, and modern menu options. So you're going to be able to experience that if you never have before. That one is very much a classic. The Crew 2, the sequel to The Crew, the game that has sparked all of the what was the Stop Killing Games movements and stuff like that. The Crew 2 will be accessible for years to come, according to Ubisoft, with a new offline mode added in thanks to player feedback, which is kind of like, yeah, we saw your stuff and we understand that we probably should add this feature to the game. Clearly enough people want it that we should add this feature to the game, which is always a cool thing. Is that's why you should try to do stuff like that, because even if it doesn't change legislation or whatever, sometimes you don't need it to. If you show that a company can make more money if they just do what you want anyway, they're like, well, if enough people want it, clearly this is what sells the game. We should put that in there, right? Companies like money. Let them know what will make them money. And maybe there's a good chance they'll do it. Some companies are stupid, though, so like, don't hold your breath. And I think that's everything. There was some stuff about the EA deal that's going on that we were going to get to, and something from the Japanese government. A lot of like legal stuff, but we can get to that some other time. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I think it's stuff that's only going to be progressing.
Yeah. I will just add that I don't know if you'd heard that a hacker group had breached some Nintendo servers.
Oh, yeah, I heard.
Recently. Oh, you heard about that? Okay, well,
Nintendo if we're talking about the Pokemon one again, I don't know if they got more than Pokemon, but...
Yeah, no. But Nintendo's claiming that they did not get anything, no business information, no security, no personal information of anyone. It was just a couple of websites with nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So they're claiming it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Nintendo has some pretty good security. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were barely able to get anything out at all, but a couple websites,
Yeah. Apparently, it just had some lists of games stuff which you would expect on a website. That's it.
Anyhow, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for watching. And I don't know. I'll probably do something tomorrow. But if you like these shows, come back around on Monday, same time and place, at about 9 Central for Super Serial Showtime, where we'll talk about shows and movies and whatever we're watching. And until then,